Morning guys, morning to all. It's another hot one, I think. I'm getting out early to beat the heat. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and do a vid. I haven't done a live video properly for a few weeks. I was ill the other week, and yeah, what I was going to do, I asked for some questions online on social media about if anybody had any questions about Monster Home. So I took the questions on. Hello Jamie, hope you're not on the toilet. Yeah, so I took these questions and I thought I'd do them in a video for YouTube. So I was thinking about doing a YouTube channel, it's not the loading up on YouTube that's difficult, it's the actual making of the videos. And I'm not used to doing that, so I did struggle a little bit. So the video that is up on YouTube is me answering those questions about Monster Home. If you want to check it out, there is a channel on there, but I don't know whether I'm going to do a lot with it because it was difficult to do, long-winded, and it didn't really feel like I like doing this. I like doing the live interaction, the spontaneity of it. Whereas when you're sitting, looking at the camera, and you've got to nail everything, and everything's got to be right, and the world isn't right all the time, is it? It's not always perfect. So I like this better. Even though the video on YouTube's okay, answers the questions. So if you do want to know about Monster Home, go and check it out. There is links on I did put one on the Instagram in the story, and the actual video is on Facebook at DJB Writer. So go and check it out. Leave some feedback. It's very raw. The edit and the cut, because I don't know what I was doing. But I don't know whether to just carry on doing these type of videos. Hi Lacey. Because yeah, it just feels a bit more real, a bit more organic than just sitting in front of a camera. And obviously you fluff your lines because it's real life, but then you get annoyed with yourself, so you go back and do it all again, and it's very time consuming, takes up a lot of time. So I may not do any more of those. I may just do it like this. But obviously if you do have any questions on any of my work or whatever, I do like getting them. If I can compile enough questions, I might be able to put them all in one video, or an interview or whatever, which is always fun. But yeah, I do really enjoy getting your questions because it's giving me feedback about what the reader, what the readers and the fans want from your work, what they get from it, what they feel from it. So it is really important to tell me those comments, to let me know what you think, or if you've got questions, burning questions about something, then yeah, let me know. But yeah, we have had a good week. The Monster Home books have come in. I'm already, my stock, because of pre-orders, I'm already nearly halfway out of stock. So if you do want a book of this batch of printed stuff, I only had 20. I think I've got about 11 left. So if you do want one, get in touch with me. I've got a shop on Facebook now, you can order through there. Do accept PayPal. The book is £15, which could sound a lot, but I value the time and the effort that went into it, and the work that's gone into the project. And it's a lovely looking book. Stuart at UK Comics, he's made a brilliant job of it. Looks professional. It's 560 pages as well. It's not like a 99p short story you'd get, like the people download them for like hardly anything. I think you've got to value your work, and a lot of people don't do that. I mean, Monster Home was a big undertaking. Obviously, if you're a regular to my videos or know me, it started off as a graphic novel, then it was going to be a movie script, but you know, these things, and then it ended up being a novel. So yeah, it ended up being a novel, and it took a long while to sort out. So there's blood, sweat and tears gone into projects like this, and I think you should value that. And yeah, so if you want to buy a book after that ramble, just get in touch and let me know. Postage is always a tough one, because obviously you're paying out for the book, but and sometimes I don't know what the postage would be, especially to abroad. It could be quite a lot. So people who want to could hang on for a digital version that I'll probably release in the next upcoming months or so, a PDF, which will be half the price basically. And the only problem is with that, you can't get a signed version. Yes, Jay Shred, I'm still lost in the woods. I've been here for 6 weeks now. I can't get out. Yeah, so you'll have to let me know. Let's get in touch. If you would like a book. Sorry, there was a lot of uneven ground there. I didn't want to fall on my face. See, you don't get this in YouTube videos, do you? You know, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Fell over and landed on my face. So yeah, the Monster Home. What else am I doing? Obviously Vatican. That's the one that people want, because obviously with Monster Home being out available before, on different formats like through Amazon and such, it's some people do have the story, and obviously I don't want to come out here and say you've got to buy this new book. It's the same story, so don't buy it if you think you've already got it and you don't need to buy it. But the print was small on the original one because of the layout being messed up. Yeah, so this is like, it's a bigger font, so it's easier to read. It's a nicer looking book, but if you've already got it, I'm not forcing you to buy it. But Vatican seems to be the one that people really want to read. He's my baby. Yeah, I know, Sally. Yeah, Jamie, catch up soon, mate. You know where I am if you want me. Where was I? Yeah, Vatican seems to be the one that people want. He's my baby. He started off years and years before everything else. And yeah, there's a long-winded story behind him. Maybe I'll tell it someday if anybody wants to know. But yeah, that's coming. That's going to be out when I have the finances. So hopefully I can get the finances by selling the Monster Home books to get Vatican printed, and then that'll be available as well. Dinner Party is still to be edited, and I am currently working on Vatican 2. It is called Retribution, Volume 2. I haven't had as much time to write as I'd like, because all you parents out there will know it's the 6 weeks holiday. I'm not shouting balls out to random passers-by. Interrupting my flow, James. Stop it. What was I saying now? Yes, because it's the dreaded 6 weeks holiday. So you've got to try and entertain a 5-year-old. It's tough. I've kind of, if he's been watching something like a film or something on the telly, I've kind of been on the iPad getting down about 1,000 words or so when I can. But I have done the first 4 chapters of Vatican. And the funny thing is, I used a board this time. I usually just use notes and look through the old initial, because I did them all as little scripts for comics years ago, so they're not in depth. So I've got to stretch the story and make it a story out of just the notes, really. But what I did this time, which I haven't done before, is I used my whiteboard and I picked out the key characters within Vatican and wrote what they're going to be doing within this story. And then as I was rereading the old little script, I remembered there's a big storyline within it that I'd forgot about. So this one was intended to be a small one. Morning. It was intended to be a smaller book, but I think with this storyline in it as well, it might be as big as the first Vatican as well. So yeah, I think they'll all be pretty big, to be honest. Got stories to tell. They need telling. But yeah, it's this one really kicks into gear. Like the first book it's showing you the environment, it's showing you the certain characters and giving you backstory on those characters first. There's quite a few key characters. Morning. I'd say that in the first one there's about four or five key main characters in it. Well, in the second one we up the ante a little bit, and each one of those key members have storylines, and you're injecting other characters into it as well. So there's new characters in it, and all their stories are intertwining and overlapping. There's going to be a lot in Vatican II. I'm hoping that there won't be too much in Vatican II. But yeah, it's fun. It's a fun world to be in. I think as a writer, if you can, it's escapism, and we all look for escapism, whether it be in sport, whether it be in comics, whether it be film, reading, writing. We all do these things because it's escapism from the norm, isn't it? So that's what we want. I mean, not that your normal life isn't great. I'm sure some of you have a great life. I can't argue with my life. I love my family. I love spending time with them. I love my job, and I love having the time to be creative, because that's basically me. So yeah, I'm loving things at the moment. Things are going good, but for some people they aren't. Their life isn't how they want it to be. So they need this escapism. So if I can do that for somebody, that's amazing. That's the best feeling you can get from it, really. Because a lot of the time, writers, you write for yourself, and then you're always scared of what other people will think about it. And I think, do you know what? Don't be scared, because everybody will look at it differently, won't they? Everybody will read a book and get something different out of it. Everybody will watch a film and get something different out of it. Somebody might hate the film, somebody might hate the book, somebody might love the book, somebody might love the film. And it's whatever. If you get something out of it, then that's great. But you can't please everybody. So I'm not gonna try and please everybody. I write for myself because I've got these stories in me. And if somebody else likes them as well, then great. That's fantastic. But yeah, I mean, I think it's healthy to have that escapism if you need it, just to switch off for a while, but to do something. So if you're creative, whether it be art or writing or poetry, or filmmaking or whatever it is, or even just reading yourself, you know what I mean? You have to have a good creative imagination, I think, to get the best out of a book. A lot of people I've heard, like, oh, I read such and such book in like 2 days, and that's not because they couldn't put it down that it was that good. I think it's because they speed read, and I think when you speed read, you don't get everything from it. It's like watching a film in fast forward, I think. You got to take your time with it. I'm very much, I'll read a chapter, try and read a chapter of a book a night. I'm currently reading Pet Sematary, as you know. I'm working my way through Stephen King's collection at the moment. I believe, with the lists that I found, he's done 71, I think 71 or 72 books. I might be wrong because I can never find a definitive list of his works anywhere. But I have 55 books of his now, and I think I've read about 8 of them. So I've got a long way to go. And I've decided that whatever book it advertises at the end of this book that I'm reading, that's the one I'm going to read next. So the next one I'm going to read, Salem's Lot, which I'm looking forward to as well. But Pet Sematary is really good. It's really deep. Especially, I look at things differently now, having children myself, having a child. I think it changes your mentality of how you look at things. And because there's a child involved in Pet Sematary, the storylines hit you a little bit deeper. But yeah, I've gone off track there totally. But what I like to do is read a chapter a night. The trouble with Stephen King is some of his chapters are really long, and I'm like really long. When I'm writing myself, I try to keep it maybe about 8 to 10 pages at the most for a chapter. Sometimes it's more than that if the scene needs it. But if you're reading and you're tired at the end of the day and you're sitting in bed and you want to go to sleep, but I'm like, let's get a chapter out. If it's a long chapter, you can feel yourself starting to go to sleep. So I think, for me personally, shorter chapters are better, especially if you read like that. So if you read a chapter a night, it's perfect. Read a chapter, and then I think if you're really into it and engrossed and you've got the time that night and you're not too tired, read a couple more. But I think reading just a bit, closing the book up and putting it down, and then you go to sleep, so it's in your head. And I think that's really good because it builds the anticipation that you want to come back the next day and do it again. And I think, to me, that's how I read, and that works for me. It might not work for others, but a lot of people just sit and read the whole thing. But I think one of the reasons I don't do that is I don't have time. Rambling in the woods. I don't have time because it's time management. And I had this conversation with my friend Pete the other day, and he was saying that he's obviously got a book idea that he wants to write, and he says, I just don't have the time, I work so much, and then when I get back, I'm so knackered, you don't want to do anything. And I did say it is about time management. I have the same sort of problem finding the time sometimes. If you've got the little one around and he wants to do stuff, or you're at work, so it is a juggle, but it's finding that routine that works for you. Obviously this is 6 weeks holiday, so it's all thrown up in the air. Luckily Sarah's off today, so she's going out and doing some stuff with him today, and it's going to give me the time to really get on with some writing. But it's all about routine and time management. I think you've got to find what works for you and fit it in, because the way I look at things is I could sit and I could read a book if I had the free time all day, but my brain's like, you've got to be creative, you've got to do something. So I'm doing my caricatures or writing or making notes for other stuff. So I'm always constantly doing stuff, because that's how my brain works. It's always constantly creating and thinking of things to do. So that's what I would rather do than, to me, reading's a relaxation time. So that's why I do it. I do it on a night time, just before sleep. But that's what works for me. What else have I been up to? Obviously work is still going with Welcome to Crimson. You might have seen some cool characters coming through. We've done a main bunch of characters now. Charles has drawn them. I've put through some colour on them, and you might have seen some old faces that you might recognise: Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, the mummy, the gill man, which is the creature from the Lava Lagoon, but the gill man we'll call him, because they make a cameo in the beginning of Welcome to Crimson. But I'm not going to say anything more because that'll spoil the surprise. We might give you a taster and have that available for you, maybe the first few pages, to see what it's all about. So yeah, Charles will be starting that. The other one I'm doing is obviously Bloodstained Canvas. And Jay Shred, is he still listening? He might still be on here. Yeah, Jay's doing the artwork for it. And he's now doing the colours, which works for me because it's another job I haven't got to do. But I'm putting the finishing touches on. Like if there's any designs on there, he's there. There he is. Look, I can see him. I can see him there. Yeah, I'm putting the finishing touches, like any designs on the gear or stuff like that. But he's doing a grand job. He's found a style now that works best for him, that he's comfortable with, and I think it's quicker for him as well. So yeah, that's all going well. I'm not pushing anything because speed is irrelevant of where you get these things out. These things will come out. We will get them out. But let's take our time. Let's get it the best we can get it. If the anticipation builds for the product, the anticipation will still be there. So no pressure, Charles. No pressure, Jay. Take your time. Take your time. Life will pass you by if you go too fast. I think Ferris Bueller said that. Anyway, I'm going to head home now. I've nearly finished my walk on the woods. I've rambled a lot today. But it's good to get these things out there, isn't it? Slinks. Yeah, I forgot about Slinks. Slink was the new character that I'm doing. And he seems to be building up a bit of a fan base. I'm still working through the list that people have given me. But he's really fun to do. It's rewarding because I've made myself a template now, so I don't have to redraw him all the time. Pardon me. And it's really rewarding to have this blank Slink and then make something with him. And last night I did Harley Quinn, and I think that one is my favourite one so far. I really enjoyed that one, and I think that's a testament to showing me how they're getting better, how I'm getting better with them. So yeah, I'm going to try and do a few today, and then this afternoon I'm just going to write and see if I can maybe knock out a few chapters for Vatican II. But yes, oh, I nearly fell over there. Yeah, there'll be 3 coming today, and the next 3 on my list are going to be so funny. I don't even know. Did the park ranger? I don't think there's any park rangers around here, mate. Oh my word, it was a pigeon. Scared the crap out of me. I don't know how I'm going to do these 3 that are on my list, because they're all part of the same world, I suppose. So they will be fun, and if I can pull it off, they will be funny. So yeah, so I will see you when I see you guys. If there's anything new to report, I will let you know. But keep liking the stuff, keep supporting artists and writers. They need it. They need that tap on the shoulder, that little pat on the shoulder saying well done. Creatives need it. So please help them. If you see something you like, piece of work, give it a like. It makes people's day. And give it a share as well. And if you're looking for a book, get in touch. Monster Home is available, limited stock. So let me know. Okay, see you around, guys. Bye bye.